Okay. Make sure just to speak. You don't have to scream, obviously. But, all right. Please state your names and your numbers, if that's okay. If you got a problem with that. If not, you can just say your names.
Name and number is fine for me.
All right. Well, your first and last name and your number.
Okay. I am Lakara Bell, and my number on the line is 19.
I am Nakaya Mason, and I am number 29.
Okay. So for my first question, why did you choose Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated?
You already started, so
Okay. For me personally, I chose Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated because when I was initially thinking about going out for something Greek related, I didn't know what I wanted to go for, but I wanted to go for something that was wholesome and holistic. And when I started doing my research and observing everybody on campus, I realized that the women who were a part of Sigma Gamma Rho, they were just exactly that. And the more I interacted with them at different events and stuff like that over the years, I noticed that yes, they were a part of a collective, but they still retained their individuality, and that was something that was really important to me going into something Greek. And once I realized that that was possible, I was just that's what I want to go out for. That's what I want, and so I did.
So I decided to go with Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated. Well, me being a sophomore, you see everything. Everything comes out your freshman year. And yeah, you see a lot of different organizations, but you don't see a lot of them doing as much community service and as much community outreach as SG Rho. And when I was going to tabletops, it really just felt welcoming and open to talk to, just the ladies. And they were very humble, they were very open with just making me feel comfortable answering any questions I had, just getting me informed on who and what SG Rho was really about. So yeah, it's just, it made a lot of sense. And plus, looking at my decisions and looking at what they were about, what they do, how they affect the community, and what they really stand for, it made a clear choice to me that SG Rho is the right way.
Great. How did you feel when crossing into the sorority?
Exhausted. Exhausted. I kid. But it's a whole wave of different emotions. It's joy, it's exhaustion, but joy, really it's joy for me. Joy, exhaustion, and just excitement.
Yeah.
You're really about to start, hard work. You're really about to start your community outreach. You're really about to start what it really means to be a true Sigma woman. Joining Sigma Land is one of the best things I've ever done. And it's really just starting. So, yeah, joy, exhaustion, and excitement.
For me personally, I was really just excited, but also it showed me how optimistic I actually can be as a person. I was very much just I'm excited, but I don't know what's going to happen. But I'm very excited for whatever happens and whatever I get to be a part of while I'm starting this new journey into becoming what it is to be a Sigma woman.
Period. What's something that the process has taught you, or is there a lesson that stood out to you during the process?
I don't even know if you can say that.
I learned a couple lessons about myself personally.
Yeah. Okay, I'll rephrase. What did you learn about yourself throughout the process?
Okay.
That's better worded.
Yeah.
Because that other one, I was going to say something. I was like, yeah, we can't say that.
Secrecy. Discretion. But but for me personally, a lot of the takeaways for me were that, my biggest takeaways were that practice doesn't make perfect. Practice makes better. And as long as you're willing to be better, you're going to be okay in the long run. That was my biggest takeaway. And my other biggest takeaway is that if I truly want something, I could go get it. So throughout this whole process, it was showing me that I am resilient. I have the capacity to actually hustle for something. because this is something that I actually wanted. And it's like, I was like, during this whole process, I was the embodiment of I was like basically the embodiment of the saying that like faith without work is dead. Like that was like, so it's like I put in the work. I believed that this was something that I could be a part of, and it happened. So
I learned that hard work and dedication do pay off if you do it right. I learned that there will be sleepless nights, but those sleepless nights will lead to something even greater. I also learned that I'm not in it alone. My sisters and I have grown so much together, both together individually, and honestly, without their support, I wouldn't have as much confidence as I do in myself. Without them, I wouldn't know or be able to understand as much as I do now. Yeah, it's just realizing that yes, you decide to do this on your own, and you realize that you're going to have to put in your own work for this, but you also have to realize that there are people who are going to back you up, and there are people who you're going to back up as well. So, yeah, it's just like I learned the true meaning of sisterhood. Yeah.
Who is a pro fight that you can relate to and why?
I got a list, okay? We're gonna quote them. So when I first was looking, like I said, at tabletop, like a good handful of people stuck out to me. It was Taj Trotter, Big Ace. It was Amaya Moore, aka Ziggy. Nia Ellison. Oh my God, I love Nia. She is just a whole ball of passion, caring, love. I would go to bat for Nia any day of the week. I don't care. Bebe, because I know she goes by Bebe.
yeah.
But Bebe.
I think her name is Kamari. Her first name.
Yeah. But she showed me that you can be real, be you, and still be a Sigma woman. Mm-hmm. I know during the Dish It Out event, I was with her in her group, and it was just like, she's real, she's her, she doesn't let her letters define her. So to know that you can have a balance between being you and still being a Sigma woman, and still respecting all the rules and bylaws, that I can still be me. I don't have to change for anybody else. I don't have to fit into the stereotype of, oh, this person is this because they're this, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I am Nakia Mason. I am Nakia Mason, a sophomore criminal justice major who has so many different things going on. I'm in PAD, I'm in pre-alumni, but I'm also in Sigma Gamma Rho, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Yeah, what was that for? Who was my last one? I'm trying to think. Oh, Desiree Jones. I love Desi. She's just energy. You see her, she's smiling. They bring people in just by being them, being real, and just by smile. A smile goes a long way because it's welcoming and it's warm. But those are my big five. Shout out to them. I will always say that, especially to my TT.
For me personally, the pro fights that I relate to the most are definitely Victoria. She was our mom.
Madre.
I was like, Madre. I love her to death because like I didn't realize how like much we had in common personality wise until like I was around her 24/7. And like what really clicked for me is like one night me and some of my sisters, they were like telling me that I should stop apologizing for stuff. Like I like literally say sorry about everything. And like they were encouraging me to like basically like if I'm gonna do something, like stand on it. Like don't apologize for anything that you do, especially like if it's authentic. And then I look to her and she goes, don't look at me, I apologize for everything too. And like that kind of made me feel like I wasn't alone in like some of like the flaws that I might have. So like that, and like also because of like how open she is with her emotions, and that made me feel like better about like being emotional as a person, because like most of the time you have the negative stigmatism of like, oh, that person's super emotional, they're a crybaby, they're this, they're that, and like having her around made me feel better about being that person who's like very open with their emotions. Another person that I really related to, like off rip, was my club, Keari Walker.
Yeah, Big 19 is 2022. She's just so
She when she walks into a room, like she lights up the room with like her energy, and like that's something that I've always wanted to do. Like the first time we met was like when she pinned me for our induction, and like the whole time we're just laughing, giggling, like because like I never realized like how bubbly like a person could be like naturally, and like it kind of just her energy kind of just like rubbed off on me, and I'm just like I really like this. Like also the reason why I relate to her so much is because like she's not afraid to like be herself. Like she's not afraid to like be like the goofy one or be the awkward one or anything like that around her sisters. Like, cause like she's gonna stand on it. She's gonna be like, yeah, I did it. What you gonna do about it? I'm gonna do it again. Type stuff. Bro. And I was like, and I love how like authentic and in the moment she can be as a person, and it's like really inspiring. So.
How do you think becoming a member of a Divine Nine organization has changed you?
For me personally, I would say being a member of a Divine Nine organization has definitely like taught me a lot of life lessons. Like it's just like I said before, if you want something, like you really have to go out there and get it. Like everything, like before I was a part of like a D9 organization, I can say that a lot of the opportunities I was afforded while matriculating through TSU, they were given to me. They were literally sat in my lap, and this was something that I actually had to put in work for. So it showed me that like work, like having a work ethic is very important. And like I can't have the mindset that somebody's always going to give me something, because they're not. And like my spot on this line was not guaranteed. Like I had to prove that I wanted to be here, that this is something that I actually cared about. So, and that was kind of my takeaway from joining a Divine Nine organization. Like I said before, work without faith is dead, and vice versa. So I can't just believe it and not work for it. Or I can't like not work for it but have all the faith for it. So
being a part of the Divine Nine now has taught me a different level of respect. A lot of people don't realize, because they're not really able to, because they haven't gone through the process or haven't gone through the mental, just going through. It's just taught me a different level of respect for each organization, especially SG Rep, big SG Rep. But it takes a lot mentally, physically, financially, emotionally to be a part of something even greater. And without respecting where it started or where it came from, knowing the history of it, you're not going to be able to appreciate it more. I know for us, especially because we're later down in the line of being founded, but we still have gone through struggles. Well, the sorority, when it founded itself, has gone through struggles for that time period. And so you look back and you're like, oh, yeah, they fought for this, they fought hard for this, and they made a name for themselves.
Right.
They showed that we have purpose, and we have the right to be here. We have the right to prove that with, greater service comes greater progress, and it's an uplifting the whole community thing. It's just a matter of respect from where you come from and where you're going.
And for my final question, if you could tell anything to your pre-process self, what would you tell yourself? Get sleep and actually eat. You know how much weight after process, like the first tabletop, I think, especially the first tabletop.
Yes.
A lot of people came up to me and asked, well, they was like, you lost a lot of weight. Are you okay? Are you eating? I need to get on your diet. And I'm like, I just haven't eaten and I haven't slept. Like, the day of probate, I saw my mom before I left out to go meet up with my sisters. She hugged me. She said, you're getting frail. I was like, LOL. But yeah, I would definitely tell my pre-processed self to, right before we start, to make sure you have food and make sure you get sleep and make sure you have water, because those long nights are an actual thing of long nights.
Yeah, they are. Like,
So yeah, just food, sleep, and water,
yeah.
because people will call you frail. Because she called me frail. She hugged me and she said, "You're getting frail. Are you eating?"
No, I think for me, my pre-processed self, I would tell myself that preparation is key. Like, don't procrastinate on things that you actually want to do. That was also a big like life lesson from this whole process. It's just like it showed me how like procrastination can get in the way of things. And like I eventually figured it out because this was something that I wanted to do, so I put in the work for it. However, I wouldn't have had to put in so much work, or I wouldn't have been so stressed had I actually prepared for it before. And so basically, it's just, if you're gonna go out for something, make sure you have the preparation for it. Like, some things you can't go out for on a whim. Like, some things, like,
This is definitely not one of those things.
Like, you can't treat it like a math test or like a presentation that you didn't prepare for. Like, this is like a commitment that like you have to have you have to go through all the steps in your head, like in real life, to make sure you're prepared for this.
Like, when we say this is not a wake up and decide to do this, no, it's not.
It's not like you can't treat it like a road trip or anything like that. You can't treat it like it's something spontaneous because of how much work and dedication goes into it. So,
Like, majority of us started, well, I can't even say majority of us because I'm only speaking for myself. I know I started thinking about this back ago. Just,
yeah.
this was not, I started thinking about this before first semester.
Yeah.
So, like, actually prepare.
Yeah. And I think another thing I would tell my pre-processed self is, girl, quit crying. Like, you're gonna be okay. Like, yes, it's okay to cry, but like, don't cry about every little thing that like gets in your way or you think it's an obstacle, because it's going to work out in the end. I think like one of the quotes that I kind of live by, don't judge me, is from one of my favorite movies. It's from Happy Feet, and basically in the movie they say, if you want it, you must will it, and if you will it, it will be yours. And that's basically what I did.
That's from Happy Feet?
Yeah,
That's fire.
it's from the second one. So,
But yeah, and to conclude, amen. Please quote that one.